Mobile Suit Gundam! Such an iconic design. Oh, that's Char, right? Or Char. Damn, he looks so cool though. Why does he look so cool? Okay, it's the same. Is this the exact same but a different song? Oh no, that was different. This is a variation. He did not do that like sneaky look in the last one. Not an anime. Not an anime. This is real life. It's true. Double Z's? Love the sound of this opening. It's got a really cool sound. Like those guitars sound so 80s. And the synths too. Iconic. Oh, the saxophone. Let's go. Oh, hell yeah. Imagine humanity has been wiped out. And suddenly, millions of years later, like these wall paintings are found. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be checking out more retro anime openings. So I personally don't know what's going to be in any of these videos today, any of these openings. I don't know what I'll be checking out. I will be splitting this into two different parts. I've been told that I'm going to be reacting to 20 openings today in one sitting. Hopefully it's in one sitting anyway. So part one, which is going to be this video right now that is uploaded, will have 7 openings in it. And then part 2, which I will be uploading very soon, will have the next 13. So I don't know why it's split up that way, but I'm sure it'll make sense when we actually get into the meat of this this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. Please consider leaving a comment down below, letting me know your favorite opening that's in this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, I don't know anything I'm going to be checking out today. There is a theme normally for these retro anime openings. So I always like to throw out the idea that the theme for today is going to be Gundam, but I've always been wrong. So, you know, that's my prediction for today. We'll see how accurate I am. I'm sure that the title will have exactly what it is we'll be checking out today anyway. So yeah, I don't even know what decade of anime openings we'll be checking out, but you know, that's the fun of this. I get to discover that with you guys at the same time. So if you guys do like gaming content, I do have a gaming channel. You can find that over at Jasmer_games. I post gaming content there, and currently at the time of uploading this video, I am playing Silent Hill 2 and San Andreas, both first time and both PS2 versions. So if you like either of those two games, please consider checking the channel out. It means a lot to have your support. And, you know, follow me on Twitter at Jasmer_tweets, where I post updates and stuff for the streams and for the channel. So yeah, that's going to do it for me for my yapping, and I am about ready now to check out opening number 1 for this video. So let's just jump right into it. Okay. Half century has passed. Humanity began moving. We're going to space? A second home to humanity, so people still live on Earth. And where they died, shit. 0079? I love the spoken introduction. Zeon. Earth's Federation? Half the total. Jesus. Okay. Humanity should be horrified. That's crazy. Stalemate? Shit. 8 months have passed since the stalemate. Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess the comment earlier about Earth being okay and still habitable is now redundant. It looks like they just blown the whole thing up. Mobile Suit Gundam! Rachel Gundam? Oh shit, look at that design. That looks so different from any of the other mecha anime like character designs I feel like I've seen. Very fluid. Ooh. Tiring foe. Oh shit, I love every single frame there was like hand drawn there. It looks so good. Gundam. Such an iconic design. The Gundam design really does stand out against others. I love that like hair, where it's like got that curly feel. Seize the power. This like fun opening directly contradicts what was being said at the beginning. Oh, the big dirty drums. Okay, is that colonies just there on the on a crater? That was crazy. So that was Mobile Suit Gundam, released in 1979, so right at the tail end of the 70s, by Sunrise, who did Zambot 3, City Hunter, Bebop, Code Geass, Gintama, Love Live, and many more, I'm sure. Directed and created by Yoshiyuki Tomino, character designs by Yoshikazu Yasuhiko, or just Yaz, and mecha designs from Kunio Ukawara, all three serving the same roles on Zambot 3. Yaz would go on decades later to create his own version of the original series in manga form known as Gundam The Origin. The song is Fly Gundam by Ko Ikeda. Right off the bat, the way that this opening started, I did really like. I love when anime openings start with like a spoken intro, and that happened a lot in the 70s and 80s. I feel like I haven't really seen anything like that in a decade after that. So that's a shame, because the spoken intro can be really well done. Like, you know, to draw inspiration, or not to draw inspiration, but to show the inspiration that an intro like this had, or an opening like this had, you can only look as far as Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know, how many people can quote the opening like 30 seconds of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it's a spoken intro like this one, and it's really well done. I love how it really just basically tells you the story without then having to show you, because we know the history, we know the story, and we know really what's gone down, so that the beef of the show can really just be about what it's about, opposed to catching us up to scratch, you know, about everything else. You will say in actuality that spoken intro happens after the opening plays. Oh, so you actually had to edit it ahead? As the intro describes, humanity is plunged into a war fought between the Principality of Zeon, who hail from space, and the Earth Federation. The conflict between the humanity that remains on Earth and those that call space their home is a common theme across the entire franchise. Zeon has made up their lack of manpower compared to the Federation with their advanced mobile suits, the Zaku, the green one-eyed mecha, prompting the Earth forces to develop their own countermeasure. That's really interesting, because I think it's a really cool concept to have humanity itself kind of conflicted with, you know, itself. They've got like conflicting, maybe, I don't know if it's ideals or like the way they look at things. The humans that grew up in space, obviously they're going to call that their home, because that's been their home. That's been their home their whole lives, and they've been in space for a long time now. So obviously humanity came from Earth, but it's got this really interesting idea of, well, what do you call your home? Where you actually are from, or where you are now? Like, it's this really cool, interesting idea, because you know, I myself, I can relate to that, where you know, I'm currently living in the US, but anytime I'm talking to anyone about Ireland, I say like back home. Like, I don't say back in Ireland. I don't call here home even now. I call Ireland back home. Like, it's home to me. So it's this really really interesting question of where is home. Everyone's got their own different idea for it, and yeah, it's not the most important thing in this opening, obviously, but it's something that I can relate to, and that, you know, the kind of stuck out to me. A Zeon strike force led by the ace pilot known as the Red We'll try that again. Led by the ace pilot known as the Red Comet, Char Aznable. Is it Aznable or Aznable? Like, how's that last name pronounced? I have seen the name before, obviously. Launches an attack on a colony suspected to be housing the Federation's new weapon. Young mechanical enthusiast Amuro Ray and the rest of the civilian population are ushered to shelters as Zaku's descend and wreak havoc. In the panicked carnage, Amuro discovers and scrambles for the controls of the Federation's new mobile suit, the RX-78-2 Gundam. Does Gundam mean anything? Like, is that an actual a word that has meaning in Japanese, or is it kind of just robot or something? The main character in this is from the Zeon side of things. Are they actually not like... Are we not following humanity? Is humanity the bad guy here? You think the true origin is it doesn't have a meaning? That's really funny. Oh, Zeon is striking a supposedly neutral colony? I guess I don't really fully understand the way this plays out. Like, if Zeon and humanity, like, you know, what kind of roles they play and who we follow and who's good, who's bad, who's this, who's whatever. But I'm sure if we're checking out more Gundam openings today, that will play out. Oh, they are all humans. So Zeon are the ones who went to space. So the Principality of Zeon are the humans that grew up in space, and the Federation, Earth Federation, are just the humans that are on Earth. Is that what it is? Oh, they declared interdependence from Earth. I guess I just had this idea that Zeon would be like aliens, you would call them, because they were never initially from Earth, and they have been at war with Earth because Earth has gone to space and Earth wants to expand, or humans want to expand. That's interesting. I'm learning, I guess. The Gundam makes short work of its Zeon counterparts, earning the nickname the White Devil, allowing the survivors, predominantly just children and the elderly, to escape on the new Federation ship, dubbed the White Base. Amuro and the ship's new, mostly civilian crew attempts to make their way to Earth in the hopes of some safety, all the while pursued by Char and his Zeon comrades. Char for reference, since he doesn't appear in person in the opening. This is Char as Nabel. So, is Char not the protagonist? There's no aliens in Gundam. It's all humanity killing each other. That's crazy. Shat. Yeah, his name is Shat Aznable. Learning the history, really cool. I love the spoken intro. And then seeing this opening where it looks like Earth, or maybe this isn't Earth, it's just another planet. It looks like it's either being blown up, because like it looks like, you know, this is kind of like a nuclear explosion, or maybe like there's been a force field put around it. I don't know, I can't really tell. But zooming in, you know, getting the Rage on Gundam, it's pretty cool. I'm guessing this is the character who finds the Gundam and, you know, learns to pilot it. Really, really cool designs. I do love the way they all look so unique and different. Every character looks so different. You can tell every character apart here. You know, I feel like their personalities are also showing in their appearances. Oh, so this is young shonen Amuro. I love his design so much. I love that they give him like curly hair, but it doesn't look like how the curly hair would have looked in other 70s anime openings that I checked out. Like, you know, picture Devilman, like Akira has curly hair, but it's very rigid and kind of in place, and it doesn't look necessarily curly, like wavy, I guess is maybe a better word for it. So I like how they did his design. And I think that it's really, really interesting having this very upbeat and fun opening next to the really depressing and grim spoken introduction to the series. Obviously the Gundam design is iconic. Like, who does not know this design right here? Like, this is kind of transcended the medium at that point, like at this point, and it's just like it's really, really cool to see. I'm guessing this is Zaku, who looks pretty like badass too. Rockets on its shoulders, like it's just really cool designs. I love not only do they look like badass robots, but they also look like they'd be really cool toys to have. And obviously when it comes to mecha anime, the main goal is to sell toys. That's where the merchandising is the main draw, the main selling point, and where the majority of the money is when it comes to things like this. The Zaku or the Zeon's primary mobile suit. Oh, okay. Kind of a huge deal though, as is customary. Its success wasn't immediate. In fact, poor ratings, had its episode count cut from 52 to 39 by toy company sponsor Clover. However, another sponsor by the name of Bandai, who are those guys, huh? Saw success in its own model kits based on the series. Bandai supports subsequent reruns and an enthusiastic fandom surrounding the characters, most notably Char, led the series to a theatrical release and a film trilogy from 1981 to 1982 that finally brought it into the mainstream. That's really cool. I honestly would never have known that it wasn't initially like a success. I genuinely thought that Gundam was probably one of those series that just hit the ground running and was an immediate success and an immediate financial, kind of success. And yeah, I didn't realize it took kind of Bandai to step in and see like subsequent reruns and all this other stuff until it saw success. I was saying while I was watching this as well, I loved that, there's so many moments where you can see like each frame, they've redrawn the entire thing. Like, it's just so much love and detail and attention put into that. And like the way that the flames that here, like I'm taking this shot as an example. There are many other examples, but this shot is an example where we see like the flames in the top corner with these big zoom, like I don't know how to describe it, like they're very flamey, and we see that the cannons have kind of dissipated. And yeah, it's just so cool seeing shots right like this where it happens in a single frame where it lights up. Like, I don't know, just so much attention, so much detail, so much love, so much badass energy. Like, look at this light sword right here. Like, that's so cool. Like, I'd imagine this is inspired by Star Wars, this kind of like light sword, right here. But yeah, the shield as well, so cool, so badass, so much energy, so much cool behind everything that's happening here. Fly Toward the Galaxy Gundam. I really am interested to check out the next opening because this is really, really cool to check out right here. A really cool introduction to Gundam as well. I don't really know what else I can say about it. The song was kick-ass. The song was really cool, and it was a really cool introduction. That's a damn lightsaber, absolutely. I didn't want to call it a lightsaber because it's obviously called something else in the series. It's kind of a thing for iconic sci-fi shows to shit the bed ratings-wise. That's crazy. I didn't know Star Trek also did that. I'm also not really someone who's ever seen Star Trek, so I'm not really familiar. Gundam marks the advent of the real reboot style of mecha that would dominate for the following decade, as opposed to Mazinger's super robot style where rule of cool rules all. Gundam treats the titular mecha as a machine that's manufactured and piloted like any vehicle. Amuro even pulls out and reads the manual on his first encounter. That's really cool. This is not to say the series doesn't have its own mysticism later. The Force was in vogue at the time after all, but the style allows for the series to take on a more realistic horror of war perspective than its predecessors in the genre. That's crazy. But yeah, I did not realize that Gundam was dark and Gundam had dark themes. I thought Gundam was kind of one of the more fun series. That's a really interesting take. Simply put, most mecha series in the following half century have run on the ground led by Mobile Suit Gundam. It also just still remains to this day one of the genre's finest. You've rewatched it like 4 times. 45 years later, it's still the actual starting point for anyone actually looking to get into the franchise. She gets pitch black. Yeah, I was unaware. I did not realize that about Gundam. Also, my starting point for mecha anime was Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's the only mecha anime I've actually watched, so it's a complete blind spot of a genre for me entirely. I've talked about it within other anime openings videos, and within the comment sections in many of those videos I've talked about how mecha anime for me is a huge blind spot and I know next to nothing about it. But yeah, I think we are maybe now ready to check out opening number 2. I am aware of time because this is going to be a very long recording, so I don't want to really spend 15 minutes for every opening, but that's how we did it for the first one. By starting point, you mean getting into Gundam itself? Yeah, like you can't really start at the middle point, yeah. It's nice that I was finally right about Gundam, I'm glad that I was right about the theme for once. Anime opening number 2, if we're ready. Let's just jump right into this and see what we get. I imagine it's going to be Gundam again, right? Yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam. Okay, so this is Z or Z. There's very different feel to it. I'm just kind of like watching. I'm not really saying a whole lot. I'm just paying attention. Okay, so the Gundam looks different. Oh, that's Char, right? Or Char. I've definitely seen that shot before. I wanna have a pure time. Noble mind. Damn, he looks so cool though. Why does he look so cool? Believing a sign of Zeta. Oh, that's the green one, right? These dry lips become wet. Damn, look at those designs. They're so cool. I believe it will move. Sign of Zeta. Is that going to be the title of this opening? Oh, the way there were like 5 different moons in front there was made for a really cool shot, and then they're in like a belt just then. That was a cool closing shot right there. This is Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, released in 1985, so that's 6 years later. By Sunrise, they have produced everything Gundam, so you're going to stop mentioning them. Yeah, fair enough. I also wasn't positive that this would be an entire Gundam video until, you know, obviously I saw more than one, so that's why I was questioning at the beginning if it was going to be Gundam again. And once again directed by series creator Yoshiyuki Tomino. Character designs by Yaz and mecha designs by Ukawara. This song is Zeta, Transcending Times by Mami Ayakawa. So yeah, this opening took a different vibe. You know, it had a more upbeat and kind of like rhythmic sound to it. Like it sounded like something you would have heard in the 80s for sure. Like this did sound like a kind of 80s song, 80s track. And I think that it was a really cool idea to have the visuals play out the way they did. Like it wasn't so much about the war that was happening, but more so showcasing the characters. And I think that, you know, specific shots, like I've seen some of these shots before, like this shot right here. I feel like yeah, I've seen that. I feel like I've seen like this before. Yeah, it's just, I guess this is where Gundam was at the peak of its popularity, because this looks really well done. Like this looks like a really well animated series right here. Not that this 79 series wasn't well animated, I thought it looked phenomenal, but this right here looks like peak 80s animation. Like I don't know how else to describe it, but it looks so cool. The mecha designs being different this time around is really cool as well, because obviously from the perspective of Bandai or from anyone merchandising, this is your way to make more money. And the way they still look badass and cool with these different designs, obviously that's money right there. That's hitting it big, and that's huge. In UC 0087, 7 years after the original war, the Earth Federation has slowly been overtaken from within by an elite task force known as the Titans. Originally formed to squash Zeon remnants, Titans have now emulated many of brutal tendencies of their former foes, to the point that the anti-Earth Union group AEUG has formed against them. Camille Bidan lives in a colony that houses a Titan base, getting himself detained after assaulting a Titan officer that committed the grave sin of saying his name sounds like a girl's name. Shit. The AEUG, led by a man called Quattro Bagina, who bears a striking resemblance to a certain Ace Zeon pilot. Does that guy have a striking resemblance to Char as I cannot pronounce his name. Attacks the base with intel that it holds the Titan's new prototype mobile suits. Camille takes advantage of the confusion to steal a Gundam Mark II and uses it to defect to the AEUG in the process. So yeah, the opening itself was so cool. Like it definitely did showcase the new mobile suits really well. Like, you know, there's shots where it's just straight up, like, you know, showcasing them. I'm struggling to find one right now, but you know the opening, you've seen it. Like, yeah, right here, like this looks so much bulkier, so much bigger, and so much more like cool, I guess. Like, obviously, like, you know, I personally prefer the older design in, you know, the first opening, but that's because, you know, it's a classic design that I'm familiar with as someone who's never seen the series. But this design looks so much cooler. Like, the fact that the shield is now on the arm, come on, like, that's just cool. Like, that's badass. Having the entire opening take place in space, and we're seeing shots like these where he's obviously in space, but like he can't be because he would be dying if he was just floating out in space. It's just pretty cool to see shots like these where it's kind of telling us that space is literally all you're going to be seeing this series. I don't know if we see much of Earth, if Earth is taking the battle to space in this season, or, you know, what's happening, but it's just really cool. The animation looked badass. I'm wondering now what happened to Amuro, whether he doesn't make it out of the end of season 1 or what happens. But yeah, Amuro is there in the opening, just aged up. Oh, okay, let me see if I can find him then. Oh, there he is on the left. I see. Oh, and then we see like the whole crew here. Like, I know the guy second from the right was in the first opening, the guy all the way to the right was in the first opening. I'm assuming that the guy in the middle as well, that's kind of stouter, he was also in the first opening. So yeah, that's really cool. I completely missed this shot, I guess. It's nice to know that they're still around and, you know, everyone's still here. But yeah, I think that this was a really kick-ass opening. I'm sure that this is one that was fondly remembered within the Gundam fan base. The direct sequel to the original series that had the daunting task of following up such a genre-defining work, the 5-year gap even saw the debut of another iconic series in Macross, which was in a way a fan-fueled follow-up to Gundam in Sunrise's absence. Tomino himself had directed 4 other Mecha series in the intervening year as well, and expressed his own reluctance to go back to the series when prompted to. In the end, it was more than worthy of a successor and proved iconic in its own right. Yeah, no, this looks badass. Like I was saying, I love the look. I love how 80s everything is, and I love how just cool, like, everything about this opening has been. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but everything in this opening is just really, really cool. Like, yeah, you said in the previous opening that the kind of rule of cool feel of the mecha anime genre was out because Gundam brought in a more real thing, but these anime openings have been pure rule of cool. You know, like, we're seeing the mechs fight, we're seeing the characters in these scenarios, these situations, and just everything is badass, everything is cool, and I don't know, just like look at that, like, I don't know, everything's just sick. I don't know how else to describe it. Everything is just badass and cool, and the song, like I said, I'm gonna play it a little bit. It's just so classic 80s, and it's upbeat, and it gets you pumped, and it gets you excited, and it makes you just want to jump into the world of Gundam. And I'm sure for fans of the series who were waiting 5-6 years, whatever it was, for this next release, I'm sure this was a great way to get straight into this. Other characters literally walked up to Quattro, go, "Okay, you're actually Char, right?" And he goes, "Okay, let's say I am Char." Bro lies as he... What? That's pretty iconic. Anyway, this was really, really cool. I love the use of color here, like the green hair for the main character kind of matching with you know, with his eyes, and really cool. And then yeah, I just think everything about it is just really, really cool here. And yeah, I guess he'll always be iconic. This shot right here is probably going to be in the thumbnail, I would imagine. I can't imagine this shot not being in the thumbnail for this video. But yeah, let's move on to opening number 3. Let's see what it's gonna show us. Okay. Oh, but it's okay. Alright. Oh shit, I love this song already. Okay, that's a very similar shot to the second opening, the one that we just watched, of him walking next to Earth. This time he looked towards it. I don't know if he did that before. Okay, it's the same. Is this the exact same, but a different song? Oh no, that was different. Okay, this is a variation. He did not do that like sneaky look in the last one. Okay, so there are definitely very striking differences in this opening, but it's sharing some similar visuals, like this shot again. I think that's really cool. Don't cry anymore. Look at that design right there. Holy shit. Remind me of like City Hunter or something, I guess. I don't know. That makes sense. There's a person looking for you. There's that thumbs up again. Oh, the way it just turns into a ship just then was sick. Oh. That was really cool. That was a really, really cool opening. So this is the second opening of Zeta Gundam from an Aqueous Star with Love by Hiroko Moriguchi. I'm getting up and I just see Kill 'Em All Tomino, so that's an awful sign of things to come. Camille and the AEUG continue their war, managing to replace the prototype Gundam Mark II with the titular Zeta Gundam. Oh shit, okay, so Zeta Gundam isn't just like to indicate a new era, I guess, but it's actually the name of a Gundam suit. The Titan forces are bolstered by the arrival of the ambitious Poptimus Hiroko, the guy that mugs the screen. There he is, okay, the one that comes in and steals the spotlight. And the conflict is further complicated by a third faction declaring themselves Neo-Zeon. Oh my god. Oh. Led by the equally cunning Haman Karn, culminates in a finale where, let's just say the series creator solidified his Kill 'Em All Tomino nickname. So I know Kill 'Em All Tomino was someone who was behind a series that we checked out in the 70s opening video, I believe. I can't exactly remember who or which anime opening it was. I know it was a mecha anime, and I know it's one about 3 humans, I think, or 3 aliens that went to live on Earth. Zambot 3. You're right. How did I not remember? I literally said 3 aliens. I said 3 and I forgot Zambot 3. Yeah, that makes sense. I know you did mention he had the nickname Kill 'Em All Tomino, and that's just pretty terrifying to think if I was to check out a series like Gundam, you know, I might be like, yo, I'm really enjoying this. These characters are great. I can't wait to see this series end, and, you know, maybe a new series to begin where, you know, we'll follow a new main character, but the characters that we love in this series will show up in it. But, you know, Kill 'Em All Tomino might just kill all the characters that we know and love in this in the finale of this series, I guess. I genuinely really did love that this opening used a lot of the same visuals as the previous one, Zeta. But, you know, it added to them, or it changed a few things to them. Like, specifically, obviously, I had it at this shot earlier, like this shot right here. This is where it ended in the previous opening, but then we get this really like interesting moment where he's looking around, like, you know, to see what he can see. Like, it's obviously showing that he's cunning and that he's kind of this real interesting character, that it's kind of giving us this sense of, can we trust him? And then a little later on we get the shot of these two again, but this time they're not full screen in the 4x3. This time they're shrunk in, a lot smaller, kind of, you know, given less importance. And then this guy shows up and he just takes up the entire screen, and he's kind of like, yeah, they're not the main attraction here. I am. I'm the main guy here, not them. So look at me. And then he disappears, and the green Gundams show up. And then we see this girl. I don't know what the importance of her is, but holy shit, look at this Gundam design right here. What's he scheming about? Yeah, what can he be scheming? God only knows. But this shot right here of just this super Gundam is kind of insane. Like, this looks like the sort of toy that would like sell out on Christmas, you know, like back in 1985 or 1986. I think it was 85. You know, this looks like the sort of toy that you know, it would have been hard to find because this looks sick. I can't imagine how cool this thing is when you're actually watching the series, you know, seeing it with all these attachments, seeing it with this super shield, this like sniper rifle, the wings that let it, I guess, turn into the ship itself. And where's the shot? Right here where we see him do the thumbs up again. It's coming up. There it is, right there. It's flashes by like it's a single frame almost. Well, maybe yeah, 3 frames where he's actually thumbs upping, but only 1 frame where it's in position. So that's kind of crazy because in the previous opening it was there for longer. So the fact then that immediately after it there's these lights, like almost like an explosion and a fight going down, has me really worried about some of these characters, you know, like, is everything not okay? Because that thumbs up was immediately taken away. So there's so many moments in this where the scenes that we remember from the previous opening are just cut short. So yeah, knowing now that there's a crazy finale where characters may die has me kind of worried about these characters specifically. You have to say this early, the Gundams are just the main characters mecha. For everything else, they have their own names, but they're just regular mecha. Oh, okay. Oh, everyone say hi to Peanut. He's here because he thinks it's food time. This was a really, really cool, fun opening. I think I definitely would say this has been my favorite so far. I really love the sound of it. I love the kind of like, what is it, like city pop? I can't remember what that's called, like that genre of music, and it's very unique and fun to hear in this opening because it's not something we'd heard in any of the previous 2 openings, and the way that it was incorporated into this, and it brought like high energy while we're seeing like all yeah. Also, like, let me just say, starting the opening with our main suit being shot at and it looks like it gets destroyed, kind of a really ominous and strange way to, you know, start it. Is it the same suit as before, or is this the Zeta suit? Like when it comes out of the wreckage, I don't know, but it's kind of foreboding and not exactly something that you want to see in this. This definitely the era for city pop. It's all over anime openings in this time. Yeah, really cool. I love the sound so much, and it's a product of its time, obviously, but I just love the sound, and it's something that I could just sit and listen to all day. I feel like I could sit and talk about this one for ages, but I am aware of time. And I think I should maybe move on to opening number 4. Let's just jump straight into this thing and see which part of Gundam we're getting this time. Not an anime! Not an anime! This is real life. It's true. Double Z's? Is this Zeta Zeta? Looked at the sky through the window. Yo, how bold are you to like start your anime opening with "this is not anime"? That's crazy. Oh, look at that skull. Oh, evolution. The new character. He's the new main character. Tell any lies. I like the way it did that, where it showed. Ooh, that's a cool design. I like the blues, the reds. I love the way this kind of went to a downbeat kind of vibe. The glasses of common sense. Ooh. He's back! It's such a funny like hook. Oh shit! Domo Arigato? It's true! This is not anime, it's real life. It's true. Oh shit. What's happening here? Oh no, I didn't recognize anyone there. Is everyone actually dead? I didn't recognize a single person from one of the previous openings. Yeah, I can't believe you put a non-anime opening in here. What the hell? I thought we were doing anime opening reactions. I didn't realize we were doing real life opening reactions. Like, this is Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta, released in 1986, once again directed by Yoshiyuki Tomino. Oh no. The song is the wonderfully iconic "It's Not an Anime." You Antiquated Earthlings, Who Have Forgotten Dreams. Holy shit. By Masato Arai. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words for an anime opening. In UC 0088, or literally days after the finale of Zeta, despite emerging victorious over the Titans, the AEUG is heavily depleted from its own losses. Yeah, I bet. This leaves Haman Karn's Neo Zeon as the dominant force in space, with designs to take over the colonies and Earth swiftly. The AEUG flagship, Arugama, docks inside one for repairs. In comes resident loudmouth teenage junk dealer Judo Ashita. Yo, we got drug dealers in space, and that's our main character. That's crazy. And they called him Judo. That's wild. Judo and his gang attempt to steal the Zeta Gundam in hopes of selling it off as scrap. Hoping to pay for his 6 sisters' education, of course. Okay, so he's one of these scummy guys, but, you know, he's got a heart of gold. Well, he's probably not a scummy guy, actually, but you know what I mean. Through a series of wacky hijinks, Judo and ragtag group of friends are recruited to fill in the roles of the depleted Arigama and begin the makings of a resistance against Neo Zeon before it regains the full might of the Zeon of old, with perhaps a mighty few instances of leaning into slapstick along the way. Also, Judo is the same voice actor as Frankie. That's wild. Holy shit, he's been voice acting since 1986? What? In contrast to the dark dramatic, some would say instead melodramatic, Zeta, Double Zeta opted for a much more comedic tone, perhaps made as an attempt to counteract the anticipation that audiences needed a lift up after Zeta's ending. But the fact that it began just 2 weeks after said finale left many confused as to what the hell was happening. So this takes place immediately after Zeta. But did the anime for Double Zeta start airing immediately after as well? Like just weeks later? This major tonal shift left Double Zeta as a sort of black sheep among the early Gundam series, but its reception has since improved. Yeah, I can't imagine, like, you know, watching all your favorite characters die, or, you know, some horrible shit happening at the end of Zeta, and then for Double Zeta to just be like, forget everything, we're coming in with a comedy. Like, I'd be like, no, I don't want comedy right now. I want to be like uplifted. I want them to tell me that everything's okay. I don't want them to like, or like, you know, you kind of want to spend time with that rather than just like immediately being told like, nope, tone shift. That's what's happening. The Zeta finale 1 week, a recap the next week, and then Double Zeta premiere the week after that. That is insane. Holy shit. That's crazy. I can't imagine being a follower of the series, like just seeing that play out the way it did. Like, yeah, I'm glad that the reception is, you know, better over years, but I'm not surprised it's seen as the black sheep of early Gundam, because that's a crazy thing to do. Also, very bold of the anime opening to be, this is not an anime. That was really funny. Like, it immediately threw me off. I read it as soon as it flashed on screen, and I kind of just like didn't process it until like a moment later. I was like, wait, what? It was a really funny anime opening hook. Like, that's like, picture a show like Breaking Bad. That's like Breaking Bad saying, this show is not about a meth dealer. This show is not about someone who cooks meth. This show is not about someone who sells meth. This show is, you know, it's like... it's just funny. It's a really funny way of doing it, and I guess that plays into the comedic kind of thing, where I don't know if this is meant to be funny like the opening, but for me it was funny, and maybe that also plays into the kind of more comedic vibe of the series. You're not watching an anime, dear audience, in the 1986. Yeah. It's crazy. That was absolutely insane, but it was really funny, and I really did enjoy it. I think it was really cool. I would say, though, I still do prefer anime opening 3 for Zeta, like the second Zeta opening, over this one, but this one was really cool. The visuals, you know, didn't really show as much, I would say, as some of the other openings, but seeing moments like this where we see the evolution of man, and then, you know, humanity evolves into the main characters from the previous openings. It's just a really cool, fun idea, And then immediately after that, we see this little whippersnapper show up and just take the center stage with his green eyes and looking a little similar to Amuro, like the main character from the first opening. Looking somewhat similar, but not entirely. Just immediately taking to the suit. Like, this is a really cool shot, like seeing the overlay of the suit and, you know, his design just kind of become one. As well as that, there's a shot a little later on right here, I think, where he stretches his hand out towards... Wait, no. What way does that play out? Oh, okay, there it is. So it's not like, okay, he grabs it as the... Yeah, like, that's really cool. Grabbing it as the Gundam then. Sick. Badass. All of human evolution led to this goofy guy who sells drugs. Really, really fun opening. Like, there's no doubt about it. It's a cool opening. And I love the Gundam design as well, where, you know, we're back to the yellow and red... with, you know, the white shining through as well to contrast everything. It's just a really cool design, and it's kind of more in line with what I expect from Gundam, I guess. Not that I expected, but what I envision when I think of Gundam. Seeing the way this plays out as well, where we're seeing all the different moments. Like, we're seeing Char is back. Like, is this guy just never going to go away? Is that what happens here? I don't know why Char was screaming and then our new goofy guy, voiced by Frankie, is screaming right after, but I can't imagine it's good. And then we see the moon. Yeah, I don't know what this big, like, chip motherboard looking thing is right behind them. It has this kind of glitchy effect, and I'm wondering if it's kind of like a safe place or something for humans where they can be within that, but it looks like they're running away. I don't know. The funny thing about Al Char there is that he doesn't show up in Double Zeta at all. They put him in there just for the question of, oh, well, maybe he'll show up and people will like it that he's there. That's really, really interesting. That's a choice. Audience were also wondering the whole time, where's Char? He was in the opening. Yeah, this is reminding me of is it the second opening for City Hunter where they're singing about Lisa? And then you tell me there's not even a Lisa in the anime at all? I guess the 80s just did it differently. They just were like, you know what, screw it. We're going to do whatever we want. We're going to throw whoever we want in. We're going to put in whoever we want, whatever we want. That's really funny, actually, but also pretty sad for fans of the series who were maybe watching weekly, like, okay, this is the week he's going to show up. Okay, this is the week he's going to show up. Okay, please, this is the week he's going to show up. Like, I'm imagining back in the 80s, like, watching this series weekly, I'm just picturing the cope. I'm picturing the cope that they were experiencing, trying to manage that their expectations that they were going to see him that following week. But yeah, no, this is a really, really cool, fun opening. I love the song. The song was so funny. The song was really, really cool as well, actually. Without it being funny, it was just a good opening. Like, this kind of part right here where it goes downbeat, it's just really well done. Like, he has a really nice voice, and it sounds really, really, like, character driven almost. Like, it feels like it's like this kind of series where we're going to get attached emotionally, but then it's interesting to hear that this is the more comedic series, because this section of the opening right here definitely makes me feel like it's going to be pretty emotional and it's going to be pretty hard-hitting. So that's really funny then that it's kind of the complete opposite this season. But other than that, I think I'm maybe ready now to check out opening number 5 for this video. If we're ready, we'll just move on to that. This was a really cool one again. Gundam does not have any stinkers so far anyway. Maybe there'll be a stinker in there somewhere, who knows. But yeah, we're going to check out opening number 5 for this video. Okay. That little stutter just then was interesting. Ooh. Oh, I love the character design. Look at those boots going all the way up. That's so cool. Heaven's Music Box. I love the character designs here as well. Like, Gundam is some of the best character designs I think I've seen from like 70s, 80s anime. They just look so cool. I love this kind of look. Okay, so yet again, we're getting repeating images like we saw with Zeta within Zeta, Double Zeta. Not entirely the entire opening, but here and there. Silent voice. Warm eyes. Oh shit. She soars ahead. Look at that. Oh shit. That looks crazy. What is that thing? Silent eyes. Yo, stay beside me. This wasn't that shot similar in the first opening too? Yeah, I feel like that shot as well was also in the previous opening. So repurposing some shots, but not entirely changing them. I guess this time around, it was an interesting choice because it didn't, you know, do like what Zeta did, where it completely changed some of the scenes. This is the second opening of Double Zeta, silent voice by Jun Hiroe. This opening exemplifies the more somber tone that the second half of the series takes on, at least in contrast to how it began. Yeah, okay, that's good to know, because I was going to say this one sounds a lot more like, I guess somber is the perfect word, like it definitely sounds a lot more somber. So for this then to be accompanied with a silly goofy series would really had me questioning things, because this one definitely was a really cool opening for showcasing emotion. This one really showcased emotion. Like the singer really brought a real emotional feel to this opening. The instrumentation as well. Like, yeah, it had these little like moments, but you know, it also for the most part followed a steady tracky beat. So like it didn't like get crazy, it didn't get hype, it stayed like here. And yeah, it's good to know then that this second half of the Double Zeta takes a more personal, you know, kind of somber feel, because this opening definitely did sound that way. Haman Karam, pink-haired woman, reaches the Earth and leads Neo Zeon's invasion. She even reintroduces the Zeon staple of the colony drop, where a derelict space colony is rigged to just literally crash into the surface to the tune of apocalyptic destruction. Holy shit. The original Zeon used it to effectively wipe Sydney off the map. This time Neo Zeon threatens Dublin with the same fate. What the hell did we do? Judo and crew reckon with the stakes at hand, stands up to the challenge of stopping Neo Zeon's conquest. Yeah, we gotta save Dublin. If Dublin gets destroyed, that's kind of bullshit. What the hell? Ireland features prominently in Gundam for some reason. That's funny. That's really funny. I never would have figured that from these openings anyway. But that's very, very fun to hear and fun to find out. They literally go to Belfast in the first series. Oh my god, really? I mean, I guess I could draw a comparison. Like, there's some comparisons there that they kind of looked at Irish history and decided, you know what? We could do a few things in a similar sense, but, you know, put a twist on it. You need to make note of this. That Ginger character, a minute in, she acts all brash, overconfident, has some mental issues, and pilots a red mecha. Hideaki Anno, you've got some explaining to do. That's funny. Really funny that we get a completely different feel for Double Zeta. This is the girl right here, right? This is the one that leads the conquest on Earth. She's staring out at Earth, you know, kind of like looking at what she's going to conquer, and she just has so much aura. Like, I love her design as well, like the just flowy clothing, the flowy hair, and then we see a Gundam flying out with all these interestingly 80s hairdos. Like, this is the most 80s looking hairdo shit I've ever seen. The girl boss Haman. Yeah, like this looks really cool right here. We see our main character yet again. Wait, okay, no, this is just repurposing that shot again. Okay, I was like, wait, are they back? But no, they're not back. They're just they're probably dead. And then, you know, we see just much of the same of what we would have seen in the prior opening, where it's just, or openings where it's just, you know, really fighting. Like, there's the cool shot here where we see this young girl looking up to space and then her coming out. So I wonder if that's the same character or not. I don't know what really that represents, but yeah, really, really cool. I love the designs of the Gundams yet again. This design is so badass. I love the kind of blocky look to it with all the shit coming off it and the big gun and the shield on the arm. Like, that's Gundam right there. Like, you don't need me to tell you that, but that's Gundam right there. Singer's voice also was beautiful. I loved her voice and the way she brought so much passion to this song. It was really well delivered. I think that it's a really interesting way to showcase what we're seeing here, because, you know, coming off the back of the previous one, I wasn't expecting, you know, things to take a more somber tone. I was expecting things to kind of be more upbeat and silly, I guess. So really cool. Maybe they heard feedback from the community who weren't really feeling the whole silliness of the first half. I don't know what happened, but yeah, really, really cool. I don't know if I have really much more to say about this opening, so I'm kind of ready to move on to opening number 6 now. This next one will be a bit unique. Oh, okay, well, we'll see. Okay. Full screen? From the 80s? Oh, credits. Okay, we're getting credits. So this is an ending. Ooh. I really like this, actually. Is this from a theatrical production? We belong to Earth. We so do. Love the sound of this opening. It's got a really cool sound. Like, those guitars sound so 80s. Couldn't find the way out of this Mobius loop. And the synths too. Iconic. Thousands of synths. Oh shit, okay. Oh, I love how they do explosions like that. Like, it just looks so cool. Like the burst of color. Oh, the saxophone. Let's go. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so is this kind of showing like a final battle between... Ooh. Okay. That didn't look so good. Ah. If I can find the way that leads me to you again. Beyond the time. Damn, that was sick. So despite the, you know, showing so little, this song here, probably my favorite song of the 6 that we've checked out so far. I really did love the song a lot. Maybe that's also because, you know, we got to hear a lot more of it. It was a longer video. It was 2.5 minutes long almost. First, right off the bat, huge credit to the YouTube channel Mod AMVG for their AMV, which heavily inspired the clip selection during the middle of this video. Wait, what? Oh, you made this? Oh shit, that's really cool. I did not realize that. That's pretty cool. Great job. Let me see where it happens. Yeah, that was really well done. It came in right as the everything was swelling, right when everything got up there, like when that shit popped off. We got to see visuals, and yeah, no, that was really great. Great job on that edit. Holy shit. I would never have been able to tell that this wasn't you know, part of the actual thing. I would have assumed this was actually from it. So yeah, great job to Mad AMVG for their AMV, but also great job to you, Pinecino, for providing this. This is your magnum opus. Yeah, no, this was really good. I loved the fact that it was just credits, you know, as well. Like even if this was just credits the entire time, I really would have enjoyed this. This was really cool. But then also seeing the visuals pop in, and we get to see actual visuals from the series. Really cool. This is really cool. I like the choice of visuals that you brought in as well. This is the feature film Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack, released in 1988, and once more written and directed by Tomino. Kitazume Double Zeta remained as character designer, and mecha design was handed off to a team at Sunrise, with outsourcing to this little unknown studio at the time called Gainax, leaving both Yaz and Ukawara out of the project. Was that a choice that they were okay with, or like was there tension? Like, what happened? Kamino had fully taken over now. As you can tell, this is actually the ending of the film playing over the end credits. The song being Beyond the Time by TM Network. Beyond the Time by TM Network. This is a great song. Honestly, if this song is on Spotify, I might have to add it. I really, really did like this song a lot, actually. They kind of just bowed out. I see. Well, I'm glad they weren't shoved out, because that would have been really, really upsetting, honestly, as someone who would have been a fan of the series, just to see people who brought the series to life just get shoved out. That would be really, really depressing. This ending and the main theme are so iconic. Yeah. Love this so much. In UC 0093, 5 years after Double Zeta, Char Aznable, I'm never going to say his name right, finally reemerges into public view as the head of a reinvigorated Neo Zeon. He rallies his space-born nation with the proclamation that they should no longer be chained to the fates of those whose souls are weighed down by gravity. That humanity can only achieve I can't read right. That humanity can only achieve harmony by the abandonment of Earth's corrupting influence. Char's plan to achieve this would wreak untold destruction and render the earth uninhabitable for centuries to come. I'm always struggling with names. Amuro Ray suits up one more time to finally put an end to Char's madness. Both men seeking to conclude a rivalry that never fully settled with the original series conclusion. This film was envisioned as a big climactic finale for the original main plotline of the franchise. The major entries to follow starting from fresh ground. I love that. I love that we get to see Amuro step back up. That's really cool, because like hearing that his series was cut from 52 to 39 episodes, you know, there's going to be a lot cut there. There's going to be a lot of moments that you're just like, damn, I wish they could have gone more into that. So now that we get a whole feature-length film just about these two guys going to war, that's sick. I love that so much. And I'd be really, really... If I was a Gundam fan in the 80s and I heard this was coming, I would have shit myself. I would have been so excited. I would have been so hyped to see this this big like rivalry that spans a full decade almost at that point. Like 1988, the first series was 1979. That's almost an entire decade. They're finally settling their differences, and finally we're getting to see the end of this huge rivalry. Like that's so cool. That's something to be really excited for as a fan. I suppose this is an opportune time as any to mention that Char's voice actor is Shuichi Ikeda, a favorite of yours, who I would be familiar with as the voice of Kite, okay, from Hunter x Hunter, and the voice of red-haired Shanks. Why did you lead with Kite? Red hair? Char's iconic color is red. Holy shit. Yeah, you think Oda himself was like, yeah, I'm gonna create this character Shanks, and Toei, you're not allowed to make One Piece unless you cast this same voice actor. Does Char also lose his arm? Is that something that happens? Because Kite loses an arm. So yeah, is that like a funny little trait that this voice actor, his characters all lose an arm? This was really, really cool to check out. I'm really glad we were able to check this out. I know that I'm probably going to title this video, you know, anime openings, because it's all openings probably apart from this one ending. But the fact that this played at the end of a film, like I would be sad just watching, because I would not want to not hear this song. It's like the end of a Studio Ghibli film. You don't get up while, you know, the credits are playing. Like you just don't do it. You 1000% think that that's what happened. Manga authors can choose voice actors. You know, Gigi wanted Buggy's voice actor to do Jogo, for instance. That's really funny. Also, would it be crazy for me to say that I never actually pieced together that Jogo's voice actor was Buggy? I knew the voice always sounded familiar, but I never pieced that together that it was Buggy. I'm a goddamn idiot. I swear, when it comes to voice actors and singers, I am shit. I'm so bad unless it's so obvious. I'm really bad at picking it out. I'm just like, oh, that sounds familiar. So yeah, great choice, Pinecino, on the selection of clips here. Really cool edit job to put this in here, because yeah, I if I was a fan of this series, I would really, really just want to see this conclude. I would want to see these two characters squash their beef, and see things just end. Like, he's got a little hidden knife, like, that's so cheap. And yeah, this looks like it's very dramatic and a very huge climactic fight. Like, this fight looks huge. Like, they're fighting in space on a moon. The color, the contrast against the background of the suits, really, really cool. I think that the way that this was envisioned and the way that this was done, it would have taken, yeah, great job. Like, I don't know how else to praise this enough, but this was really, really insane, and I did honestly love this a lot. Now we are going to check out the final opening for this video. There will be a second part for this this Gundam reaction series, but for this first part, this video, this is going to be the next one is going to be the final video. So if you guys are enjoying, please leave a like, please subscribe if you haven't already, and please comment letting me know which of these openings was your favorite so far. I know this is an ending, so but you can include this too. I think for me personally, my favorite is probably still the third opening, which was the second opening for Zeta. But this ending right here, only for the fact that this would have just been credits, and you know, it was Pinecino who edited in the clips, which I really do appreciate. But I feel like that's maybe the reason why this isn't my favorite. Otherwise this would be. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but great job in this one. It's a basic choice, but Char's Zabi there is probably your favorite from the whole series. Yeah, is that the name of the suit? Because it looks very samurai like. You had to keep this in for the series since it's just such a major part of the franchise to leave out. Yeah, I can see that because it's sick. I'm really glad we were able to check this one out. This was really, really cool, and this is a badass ending right here. I would be so hyped to see this actually in a theater. 3, 2, 1. Can't you see? This is very different. Oh, hell yeah. Mobile Suit Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket. I don't know if it's gonna make sense, but so far the song sounds almost like 80s sitcom-y. Like, especially this part right here, where, you know, right here's where it would flash characters on screen. I really do think this is cool though, like seeing the wall paintings pretty much of the wars. With these huge ass Gundams versus small ass humans, like. Is that Char's design, or is that a different one? I can't tell. That's a really interesting and unique opening right here. I do think it's really cool. I never give up forever. Like, imagine humanity has been wiped out and suddenly millions of years later, like, these wall paintings are found. Like, that's crazy. That was Mobile Suit Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket, a 6-episode OVA released in 1989 as a 10th anniversary project, directed for the first time not by Tomino, but instead Fumihiko Takayama, who did many episodes of Macross, written by Hiroyuki Yamaga, the co-founder of Gainax, and with character designs from Haruhiko Mikimoto, who was behind Macross. The generation inspired by Gundam were now clearly leading its projects. The song is Reach Out to the Sky Someday by Megumi Shiina. I really love the kind of like downbeat somber feel of this entire opening. Like, I thought it sounded like it was maybe kind of 80s sitcom-y, but you know, it didn't really meet those same sort of highs that an 80s sitcom opening would have. So, you know, you can scratch that comment out. But this opening right here definitely fit the vibe of like war has happened, war's gone down, and like humanity is destroyed. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, and you see 0080, the closing months of the 1 year war, Alfred lives among the neutral colonies of Side B. Yet, like most boys his age, is fascinated by the ongoing, crucially distant war between Earth and Zeon. His neighbour, Christina, is a test pilot for a prototype Gundam hidden on the colony. All the while, a Special Forces Zeon team covertly infiltrates to stop the very same model. When they are found and a clash occurs, Alfred discovers a downed Zaku piloted by a rookie named Bernie. Alfred shelters Bernie in his home to hear war tales from a real soldier, whereas Bernie attempts to continue his mission quickly as to not endanger the naive child. The two form a mutual friendship in the process, though the times they live in cannot permit things to last peacefully. It's actually set around Christmas, rendering it an annual tradition for some fans to watch in the festive season. Appropriateness for the season be damned. Yeah, because it's approaching Christmas. Who knows when this is going to be uploaded? It might be uploaded towards the end of November. Kind of crazy that, people are like, hey, Christmas is coming up. Let's watch a series about humanity killing itself. Like, that's crazy. The concept of the series sounds very fun. Like, it does sound like something that would be great for a little 6-episode OVA. Like, we get new faces stepping up to take the reins of the project of Gundam, and we get to see that it's presented with a lot of love and a lot of care. I think that the choice to use this opening to showcase kind of this really interesting take where we're seeing, like, it looks like children's drawings on walls of this war, so it's kind of showing like the fascination, but also like it can be used to compare civilization with civilization. Like, you can compare these drawings on the walls to ancient civilizations' drawings on walls, where they're documenting wars and stuff that happened in their past, like their history. Like, this is a similar way to document that history, and it's cool that we're getting to see big mechas in that those drawings, because that's not something that you would have seen in other civilizations' wall drawings. But the fact that, you can then in your head kind of do this head canon of like, oh, well, what if humanity dies off and, people 10,000 years from now find these wall paintings and they're just like, what the hell happened 10,000 years ago? Like, it's just a really, really cool thing to like think about. It's way more down to earth compared to the rest of the series, so it's not completely bad for Christmas. Okay, well, that's cool. Yeah, I do like the idea of Alfred and Bernie being friends, because it's something that I would have imagined would have been present in the series prior, where, we would have seen friendships and relationships across the two different factions. Like, we would have had these kind of moments where there's this question of like, well, what should I do? That's my friend, but they're also, from the enemy state or whatever. So it's something that I would have expected to see or hear of prior to this opening. But I'm glad that we actually get to tackle like this kind of content, because it's definitely something that I think has a lot of depth and could be really tackled really in depth, and could really be emotional and really like emotionally charged, I guess. This is one of the highly revered entries in the series for its short but sweet length, quality both in writing and presentation, and for the fact that it can be shown to non-Gundam fans that can still enjoy it. In fact, the knowledge you've gained today so far is really all you need to know going into it. Zeon and Earth are fighting, and there's Mecha, etc. Yeah, well, maybe but yeah, I could say like, oh, I would love to check this out, but at the same time, I would want to start from the beginning. I'm one of those guys. I want to start at the start. I want to see everything. I don't want to miss a thing. I want to go from point A to point B. Like, I want to go from beginning to end. And I don't want to skip anything just to get to, something that someone like me could drop into and get a taste for the series. Like, I could get a taste for the series by watching the first episode, Mobile Suit Gundam. Huge series. Obviously the influence is felt everywhere. Like, it's very important and hugely influential for the entire medium of anime. So the fact that we're actually getting to check out the openings today is really, really cool and really special. There's no character from this that are in anything in the rest of the series, so it's very self-contained. Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm glad that that's the case, because it really makes this little OVA stand out, and it's its own little thing. It's not important or relevant, yet at the same time it's very well done. So that's badass in itself. That's really, really cool. The song was really, really good. The visuals were really cool because they didn't really show us a whole lot. They showed us a lot of, you know, families being happy and all this normal human stuff at the beginning of the opening. And then as it went on, we got to see like the wall paintings. So yeah, it's just like a documentation of history at that point. So it's really, really cool that we got to see this kind of unique take on an opening that we hadn't seen prior to this from any of the Gundam openings. So yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I have had a lot of fun with this. It's been really cool checking out Gundam for the first time as someone who doesn't know anything about Gundam. This has been really cool. We'll be checking out another 13. I think they're all probably going to be Gundam as well, but we'll see when we check those out. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please comment letting me know what your favorite Gundam opening is from this video and what your favorite opening is that you'd like to see me check out in the next one that I'm sure will be there. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, do all that cool stuff, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload the second part of this video. And with that said, I hope you guys are having a great day and I will see you in the next one. Take care.